Well, since I mentioned beloved chatters, I think we should go to the man himself, one Stuttering John Melendez.
Oh, yeah.
Now, sure, you might point out that we've been talking a lot of Stuttering John lately after I said we'd never talk about him again, but no one points to the episode we did where I said we only talk about Stuttering John, you know?
They forget that one.
I say a lot of bullshit that I don't mean. That I back out of because I realize it's a bad idea. But I'm captivated by the guy. You know what Stuttering John is, I realized, is like he's nicotine or he's sugary foods. He's a guy. I'm gonna say that a lot. Like, hey, I'm done with this guy. I can't do it. But like, you see what he's doing, and it's hard not to keep going back. I want to comment on this so badly because he's such an asshole. his life is such a disaster. Like, he's truly a pathetic individual, and it's fascinating to watch his demise and him dig his heels in and constantly like argue with people about things that are so clear. So the Atlantic City fiasco happened last week. We covered that. And then John has been spending this week undoing all of the goodwill that he that he built up over that week. So where are we starting with old SJ?
Well, he's a class act. You can't forget that.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely is. He's a real sweetheart.
I beat off to Keanu
Hold on.
yesterday morning.
Hold on. Outro worthy, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so.
Which, by the way, we need The Rock saying, I want to, you know what I love about the guys. That's still not
that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
We gotta throw that in there. That's one of my favorites ever. Well, let's hear the new addition to the outro.
I beat off to Keanu yesterday morning.
He's not joking. Just so everyone's clear.
Oh, no. Well, Craig, you're acting like this is the first time he's said this. He's addressing the backlash after the original time where this is what a fucking pig this guy is. So Keanu, for those of you that don't know, she's a comic. She's married to Gina Bisconti. And I guess she performed at Atlantic City. It was her, Zumak, and Gino or something.
Mm-hmm.
A very attractive young girl. And Stuttering John, he's talking about it like the day after. He's like, Keanu. And this is, by the way, a man's wife that he's talking about.
Yeah, well, he doesn't.
A fellow comedian.
Yeah.
And he's like,
fellow.
Well, you know, Keanu was wearing these tight leather pants. Oh, they were so fucking hot. Made her ass look great. She had these heels on. He's just piggishly, oafishly describing this woman in graphic detail. And so he says, yeah, I beat off to her the next day. Now this has come up on Keanu's show, so John has to address the elephant in the room. Everyone's talking about the fact that John was jerking off to this woman, so he had to address it.
I know we don't have the Army Major on to talk about Stuttering John, but I just want to watch him listen to this.
Yeah, we got to do that at some point.
I know he won't, but
can we see
Hackride?
Can we see if this will be a good topic for the after show. Get Carl's thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get the Army Major say, hey, like, we're gonna go into it unbiased, however we have to phrase it, because I'll hold up my end of the bargain.
You want him to defend Stuttering John?
Yes, yeah. Can he defend Stuttering John? Basically, I don't know the best way to phrase that to him to make him understand. We're not gonna get him in trouble with John or anything, but like to try and make Richard understand, because Richard's always like, I don't know why you have all these haters in here. Maybe we could show Richard or have him defend Stuttering John. I don't know. Man, that's it. Bounce the ball around on the after show. How's that?
He's the only guy that truly is John's friend, and John doesn't realize it.
And John's just an asshole to him constantly.
So we get like our team to get clips together of John to play for him and have him defend. Have Carl, Shuli maybe throw in some stuff.
Yeah. Would Richard be willing to do that? I think that's an interesting experiment. All right, now back to John's masturbation habits.
I beat off to Keanu yesterday morning.
He's addressing it like the towers went down on a Tuesday morning in September.
Yesterday morning, I beat off to Keanu. It was a real clear day. It was real nice.
Yeah, yesterday morning, tragedy struck. He's addressing this like the president has to come out with a statement.
Radio now on my show, and now Keanu's mother's all pissed at me.
Oh,
This man, can I say this man is 60? I'm sorry, John, 58. He's a 58-year-old man saying, I cranked my pecker to a girl and now her mom's mad at me. Like, John, take stock of your life, man. Take a step back and look at what's happening. That you announced on a podcast that you jerked off to a girl and now you're bickering with her mother about how you should be allowed to do that.
don't worry. He apologizes.
Oh, good. Well, let's hear. Thank God. That's what you always want as a mother. Is like at least if a man is gonna beat his rotten pecker to my daughter, hopefully he'll be man enough to apologize.
Now, I want to apologize to Micheline Thompson there for beating off to your daughter.
Think about that statement.
Ugh.
I want that tattooed to his forearm or something. So he can look at it every day.
Yeah, you have to go like, I said this.
I would like to apologize for beating off to your daughter. But hey, if you think that is just pure class, wait till the other shoe drops on John's statement here.
I promise I'll beat off to you too. It'll be a threesome.
He finds himself so
It'll
funny.
be me, you, and Keanu, and I'll beat off to that. Be a nice threesome.
What a pig.
Like, and he gets pissed off at anyone saying anything to him.
He really is a disgusting man.
He gets pissed when people bring up his kids. He's talking to this woman about jerking off to his daughter.
Well, that's the main thing I wanted to show here. Well, Craig, that's silly. He doesn't get pissed off about people talking about his kids.
Oh, that's right.
He doesn't care about that anymore.
That's right.
He's evolved. He's going to pretend it doesn't bother him. That's his new strategy, which we'll get to. But yeah, you're exactly right. Where he's saying to this woman, "Hey, sorry I beat off to your daughter. I'll beat off to the both of yous making out next time, lezzing out with each other." Now, John, take a step back. Just try and imagine someone saying that about your kids. Would it bother you, John? Because if the answer is no, that's fine. Like, you're allowed to, by the way, John's allowed to say that he beat off to Keanu. I think it's gross and weird to announce, but of course he's allowed to say that. What makes it so vexing is that he's a man who says the mafia doesn't even attack children. Well, everyone's someone's child, John. That's what you have to. What's crazy is Keanu is virtually the same age as John's oldest son. I think.
Treacherous grounds.
I know. The oldest one is 27, and I think Keanu's like 30. So they're basically the same age. So I don't know if Carl said that your daughter looks like Baba Booey. That's something you should talk about for 3 years. But Keanu's mom should just fucking get over it. You know.
That's a very cute way of saying something, but making it Carl's fault. I enjoyed that.
Well, John doesn't rant about me saying it. I don't know what his daughter looks like.
Holy shit. Can you imagine getting upset because you have a beautiful daughter and she wears sexy clothes?
Hold on, John, I gotta say, you might be missing the crux of the issue.
Oh, he is disgusting.
Now, listen, again, I would say to Keanu's mom, your daughter's on a podcast, she sexualizes herself. Like, Keanu made jokes about it. She said something like, if you're going to be mad about people that jerk off to me, you'll have to be mad at the whole world, Mom. Like, it was kind of funny. So she plays along with it, whatever. She doesn't care. But, like, you know, she has the right to be like, oh, this guy's kind of a pig. He's gross. Right. He keeps talking about jerking his prick to my daughter. I don't love that. Nor would John. But listen to him just not understand the hypocrisy. Let's not forget, he's abandoned. The hypocrisy police have been defunded.
That's true.
We've all forgotten that. that hashtag defund the hypocrisy police worked, and they're jobless and out on the streets now because John has been as hypocritical as anyone. That's what we're focusing on today, is areas where John was hypocritical. So it could be a long one.
Guys need shit in the spank bank. So, Michelene, I promise next time, you look pretty hot. Next time I'll beat off to you two, okay?
Oh,
this way we'll all be good.
Ugh.
Let's do him laugh. You're just a rotten old man.
He's a real ladies' man. He's gonna jerk off to other streamers.
This is where, so like, the argument with Howard Stern that I hear is always like, oh, what, you didn't expect the guy to evolve? He's 70 years old. You think he should be talking to women the same as he did when he was 40 or whatever?
Mhm.
No, I think he should evolve. Howard has gone to an extreme. But if he stopped doing this at age 60, that I would applaud. That I would say actually is growth. That John still talks exactly the same as he did when he was 25. And by the way, in the 90s, like when he was on a shock jock radio show, where he thinks now it's like cute of him to be like, I'll beat off to you too, sweetheart. What a scamp.
Troy Smith, $2. Hi kids, FKB, FSJ, FVTL, hashtag Joe Matters least.
I agree with all of that. I second all of that. That's a great notion.
But don't worry. It's a compliment, Mike.
Yeah, how do you not know that? I'd love to be jerked off to by Stuttering John.
Oh man, I can't believe someone's upset because I beat off to. I mean, come on.
Okay, John, remember this. Try and remember this, because John's a tad forgetful.
Mm-hmm.
He says he has a mind like a steel trap, but he leaves the door ajar on occasion.
Yeah.
So remember this, John. When people are in your chat saying, hey, I just jerked off to your trans kid over and over again, and you have a meltdown, remember that you said it would be silly to feel that way. This is the problem with John, is he doesn't realize these things are documented. He says them, everyone remembers. Like, I get it must be weird having multiple shows cover you, so every word you say is documented. Mm-hmm. But like, John, you are saying these things into a microphone. So just try and remember that the next time you get really worked up, because it will happen when you get worked up about someone making jokes about your kids. Just remember that you said, I can't believe someone would get this emotional about a joke. It's crazy.
Now, there's a super chat, and we have to read them. So, okay. Zach Hoffman, $2. I saw this mess in Atlantic City. He has horrendous BO.
Yeah, who knows if that's true or not. I'd hate to be sued. It sounds very far-fetched what this guy is saying. That's a ridiculous claim.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to believe that.
So we have no way of verifying it.
It just smells like dried cum and shame.
Thank you for. Well, yeah, he when you saw him, sir, he had freshly jerked. So could you take that into consideration? He was freshly milked.
Yeah, I mean, how couldn't you? I'm sure.
Now, let me throw this. So,
how couldn't you? I never have.
Go back just a little bit because I want to hear that again. But with John, essentially what Carl said about John's kids, one of the things he has a gripe with, he said they were losers, which is just that doesn't mean anything. Hey, Craig, your kids are losers.
Dude, easy.
All right, that was a little over the line. But in general, it doesn't mean anything. But it's just you could say it about anyone. But the thing where Carl said something about John's kids that was technically like personal is he said something to the effect of John's daughter looks like Baba Booey, which is an insult to both of them, or something like that. In the context, it made more sense than the way I'm portraying it. But basically, he said that John's daughter looks like Gary Delabate, which I imagine is not a compliment.
Which is a recent episode of Why Are You Laughing, right, DJ Electra? Where's the promotion?
Yeah, come on, DJ. Get in there.
Come
on. Like and subscribe, folks. So essentially what Carl is saying is, I don't jerk off to your daughter. Now that is, to John, apparently more offensive than him saying, I jerked off to your daughter, and now I'm going to jerk off to you.
You know what, Army Major? I want to take your wife and I'm going to spread her on your dining room table. It's a compliment, okay?
This is what John said. John's all worked up. He's like, Carl's like, yeah, I wouldn't jerk off to your daughter. John's saying, well, I would. So it's like, this is better somehow.
Johnny Russo, $5. New Anthony Cumia book, Spare Me, available now for pre-order online. Old school skirts to earth, Cumia.
I saw Cumia. He was on Chrissy Mary's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, did I step on you?
He just said this guy said he co-wrote it and fuck Stuttering John.
Oh, well, check out Kumia's book, I guess. I saw he was talking about Gillis on Chrissy Mary's show.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw a clip of it. And it was very funny because Anthony was like laughing about it. He goes, Shane's calling me a racist mental patient. Why are these people getting all worked up about this? He's saying, hey, I'm on Compound Media, the racist network. Why are they angry?
It is a good point.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Cumia should be mad, maybe. He's just kind of looking inward going, yeah, you know.
Yeah, the guy makes a good point.
I see nothing false.
I stand
with
beating off to Keanu. I mean, how couldn't you? I'm sure Gino's happy to hear it.
I'm sure he's not.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure he's not.
That's what everyone wants to hear. Hey, I jerked off to your wife. How are the kids? It's a how do you do in the Melendez world.
Right.
You know, you walk up to a guy on his wedding day. I'm going to make sure to jerk off to the bride later. Congratulations.
Dude, I'm remembering this for later.
When John gets up and gives a toast.
When I'm in Atlantic City and I'm inevitably by myself, I'm going to remember her boobs.
I think we can all agree the bride is looking very jerkable today. Waits for applause.
Uproarious applause.
What a compliment, this charmer. I think Gino would be proud. Yeah, I think he's going to frame those words. He's going to type out those words and have it framed on his wall. Or maybe, you know what, John? If it's such a compliment, you should send him a picture of the act. You holding up a picture of Keanu and cranking your pud. Maybe they'll frame it.
Jimmy in the chat. This isn't a super chat. I just thought it was funny. He just says, I was jerking off to you. Why aren't you honored?
You're in my Spank Bank Hall of Fame.
It should be an honor for everyone.
When I was talking to Joey C, I was like, hey, Joey, I said I would hit your wife, meaning I think she's pretty.
Can I say, by the way, John should change that phrasing.
No shit.
I said I would hit his wife?
I'm surprised he hasn't been punched in the face.
I don't think there's any region where that's the term you use.
No.
If you don't mean domestic violence.
I mean, I've heard some people say, like, oh, I'd hit that.
I'd hit that. But like, I'd hit your wife is a bizarre sentence to not realize you've made a faux pas.
Joey, see, your wife's so hot, I would bash your brains in.
Yeah, and by the way, that's a confidant I would note is like, hey, Joey C wasn't offended when I said I would fuck his wife. Oh, well then.
Well, I'm sure he actually was.
I'm sure, yeah. I think actually, now that I think about it, that might be what John's saying is that Joey C got offended by that because that's why the Ojeda thing came up. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
When he's like, Richard, now if I say I want to pork your wife,
no, I want to eat a sweet box. Richard
was legitimately like, yeah, no, I mean, like if someone said, I'm going to pretend you didn't just say that to me, John, and I'm going to say that if someone were to say that to me, I'd fucking strangle them. I'd knock their teeth out. Does that answer your question?
Let me ask it in another way.
If I were to say, I take care of my business to your wife, is that more appropriate?
Now, if I told you when I went to the bathroom 5 seconds ago, I wasn't actually using the bathroom.
Well, that's the other weird thing about John. Is like, let's say I said I don't really talk this crassly, but let's say that I did. Like, it's not that far-fetched to imagine I said this about some woman once. If I said on the show, if that got brought up, I would think like, oh, I get why she's annoyed at that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, freedom of speech and all that. I'm joking around. But I get why she didn't love that. I wouldn't double down and be like, well, now, good luck, honey, because now I'm jerking it to you. And John is the worst superpower of all time.
I was gonna say, dude, he's like the Death Star blowing up Alderaan. He just turns slowly and jerks off towards someone else.
If Lex Luthor could only use his imagination.
You guys want to see some kryptonite? Everyone scatters.
Oh, I'm about to shoot kryptonite.
Pretty. It's not a fucking insult. It'd be an insult if I said, you know, I wouldn't beat off the heart with your dick, but no.
No, John, you don't have to comment on whether or not you would jerk off to a human being. There's a middle ground there. John, every woman John meets, he just announces whether or not he'd crank his pud.
You make it move, honey.
God forbid he meets a group of women. I'd jerk it to you. I wouldn't jerk it to you. If I was a little drunk, I might jerk it to you. You seem to get me going.
Couple 2-3 Coors Lights and I'm jerking it to you.
Jerking it.
Is he like 12? Like,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like that, and that was kind of the appeal of Howard Stern in the '90s. Is it was like, you know, childish humor, for lack of a better word. Like it was, you were laughing at things you shouldn't be laughing about. Really, now that's been done to death. So a man that is just saying I would jerk off to your wife is just a crude sociopath that doesn't understand how people perceive him. It's not edgy content anymore.
Troy Smith in the chat just called it hippo kryptonite. That's very funny.
Hippo kryptonite.
That's very
funny. That's
that might be
good.
that might be the name of the episode.
Hippo kryptonite.
Let me write that down so I don't forget it. But that was the end of that part. Now we move on to
oh yeah, so the next day he has a different enemy. It's no longer the mother of someone he's been jerking off to. Now it's a mentally challenged comedian.
Yeah, we got him talking about Ray DeVito.
Yeah. No, they got it. They understood.
Okay.
The show was with Brennan, Stevie Lou, and Sad Sack DeVito.
What a star-studded lineup.
Sad Sack DeVito.
I missed that episode.
And Kevin's taking a piss at a Ray.
Okay, I have to correct John's language. Again. Do you know what he means there?
Nope.
It's like the British. John thinks he's British for some reason.
DeVito?
It's why he says to people like, we're quid, which I don't know what that means. But
money.
He says he says I'm taking a piss out of him. Which I guess is like I'm busting his balls. So that's what John means. He's talking in very confusing English dialect for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, why would he do anything straightforward?
Yeah.
And Sad Sack DeVito. Sad Sack DeVito. And Kevin's taking a piss at a Ray. Now, in true pile-on fashion, I then proceeded to wind Ray up.
Whoa. John, are you saying that you were on the internet and you saw someone's balls getting busted and you thought it'd be fun to join in?
Wow.
John, are you saying you saw some harmless schmuck getting mocked on the internet and you thought it might be funny to also crack a few jokes at his expense?
It's not pointed at me?
Haven't you considered that Ray might not like that? And Ray is someone's child. This is bizarre hypocrisy. Where he's like, yeah, so we were all poking the idiot. And so I wanted to get a few pokes in myself. Yeah, John, that's what Dabblers Anonymous is. How fucking delusional are you? How do you not realize this?
You know what? This is actually pretty fun.
Oh, when it's not me, I enjoy it.
He was hitting his breaking point. It was funny as fuck. Because I watched it. Ask Stevie Lou. I said, Stevie, look,
No, I mean it. Go right now and ask him.
Stevie Lou, where are you?
Ray's getting really upset now because I made the joke. I said, it's an old joke. I said, Kev, I had a great time with you. Stevie, I had a great time with you. Ray, Kevin, I had a great time with you. But I know he was getting irritated.
You forget underneath all of it what a Catskills hack John is.
We don't get to hear him joke anymore. He's usually just defensive.
And then I said, take my wife, please. I says, hey, Ray, 2 Jews walk into a bar.
He doesn't get any respect, but he didn't say it as a joke.
Boy, I'll tell you. There's so many things to criticize John about that you forget he's a vaudeville fucking cornball.
Yeah.
Also, the joke doesn't work. He says, Kevin, great to see you. Stevie Lou, great to see you. Ray, Kevin, great to see you. Why would you go back to the first guy? That's not how goodbyes are done.
No. Dang Lizard, €5. Stuttering John talked about how beautiful KB's wife and KB are, that they must have beautiful kids, but then
I heard that.
he just made a Kreger's.
I heard that, where he was like, they must have really beautiful kids. Oh no, I sound like a creep. But what I'm saying is, Kevin's a pretty handsome guy. His wife is really hot. Therefore, they must have beautiful kids. Okay, great.
Anyway,
I don't know. Two ugly people could have handsome kids as well, I guess, John. I don't know. It's just how their genetics line up.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, but he has this thing where he's talking about people's wives. It's very weird. When he's so anti talking about family, like, hey, you're not supposed to bring up family. You don't talk about my family. But I guess if he's talking about pleasuring himself to your family, that's fine.
That's fine. That seems above board to me.
Yeah. All right. But now back to John explaining how enjoyable it was to take this sort of mentally deficient, D-grade comedian and poke fun at him. Have him kind of be the punching bag for you. Why was that so fun, John?
If you're gonna wind somebody up, you're doing it to get a rise out of them. And boy, did I get a rise. He went ballistic. You're an old loser. Let's have a roast battle, Ray. My arms would hurt having to punch that far down. Okay, Ray?
Oh.
I'm not.
What is Ray? 3'9"? We saw how tall John was in Atlantic City.
I think he's talking about how much better of a career he has.
I know that's what he's talking about.
Which I know that steps on the joke, but I want to talk about that. Like, how much better than Ray DeVito is he doing?
I don't know. I mean, Ray, I don't know if Ray's a good comic. Honestly, I've never seen his stand-up. But I guess he put out a Dry Bar special that has like 100,000 views on YouTube recently.
Damn.
Yeah, so like I think he's doing okay. I don't think he sells out a ton of clubs or anything. Like, I don't think he's I think he makes a living in stand-up, which is good. Like, John doesn't do that.
I was gonna say, doesn't he sell like 9 tickets to like a bar?
John does not make a living in stand-up. Now, he says things like, he's like, I wasn't even getting paid for this appearance in Atlantic City. It wasn't an appearance, John. It was a weekend away for you.
You thought you'd get recognized at the casino.
That's like me. That's like literally like if I go to the mothership and I'm like, is Mr. Rogan going to send me my check now? You came here on your own volition, sir.
Yeah.
Like, you just went there. But he threw in this line that I found very interesting. He goes, me and Baba Booey used to get $3,500 for an appearance like that. And I said, John, there are so many factors here that you're not taking into account. The amount that Baba Booey matters in that statement. I'm not even saying because Baba Booey's a bigger part of the Howard Stern show, which he was. But my point is more the Howard Stern element of it.
Correct.
You were on the biggest radio show of all time. So yes, you and High Pitch Eric and all these other freaks could go out and make money just by saying you were associated with that show. Hey, if you can make a living like that, it's very good. That's what you should do.
At the height of Artie on Stern, he was getting like 150 grand a weekend.
Well, that's because Artie's more talented than John.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's a lot for anybody. Like,
Right.
so
right.
just the fact that Stern would pump wherever he was.
So, but what John is misunderstanding is like, hey, he says I get 3,500 for an appearance like that. No, you got that, and now you get less or zero because you're not a relevant guy anymore. Now, to this group of people, you are relevant. And Vinnie Paulino tried to put something on where you made money and people would come to see you. Instead, you backed out of that because you're a coward and said, I'll just show up at Atlantic City and hope people pay for my beers and give me money.
Ugh.
There's a great one we don't even have where some super chatter goes, yeah, hey, I was in Atlantic City and I bought a couple Coronas for myself because I didn't want to keep getting back up. I buy 2 Coronas, I put them down on the table. I go to grab my second one and I realize it's gone. I look over and John is drinking it. Now, when I saw this super chat, I expected John to be like, this person's lying.
Yeah.
What he said was, so many people were buying me beers. How was I supposed to know that wasn't for me?
What a fucking scumbag.
He goes, fine. Give me your Venmo. I'll Venmo you $10 if you want it that bad.
What a fucking scumbag.
That's not it's the principle of it, John. He really is a complete dirtball. It's fascinating to watch.
Hackride just said he just jerked off to Blind Mike Project, and we should be complimented.
Wow, that's very flattering, Hackride. Thank you.
Save it for 9 p.m. tonight on Hackride's YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
I'm gonna jerk off talking about Blind Mike Project.
The evening jerk, recapping.
The honor of having a roast battle with me.
I swear to God, I forgot which clips we were on. I thought he was going to say the honor of me jerking off to you.
I did too.
Sorry, go back a little bit.
Do you know how much of a complimentary piece of shit I am?
You know, let's have a roast battle, Ray. My arms would hurt having to punch that far down. Okay, Ray?
I do like Ray. So I think on Wednesday, Carl said, why is John trying to fight everyone? Like, these are not boxers. These are not men who are in shape. They're supposedly comedians. They should be doing, like, if they want to do something like that, do a roast battle or something you're qualified to do. Mm-hmm. And the next day, Ray is like, let's roast battle. Oh, where'd you get that idea, Ray?
I'll box John. Let's do it.
I'm not giving you the honor of having a roast battle with me. The only reason that you would want to do it because you could put on your resume, had a roast battle with Stuttering John.
Oh my God.
I'd be embarrassed.
What a resume builder.
No offense, but you haven't done anything.
Oh my God.
I realize, I don't know if John knows what a resume is supposed to look like, because on his resume, he keeps pumping out that he wrote for this. Keep in mind, listen to the event I'm about to say, and keep in mind his role was that of writer. The Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championships. That sounds like Mad Libs that I just made up.
I thought you were going to continue talking. That was it?
No. It's the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championships.
Oh.
Which I imagine is
lucrative.
Two NFL players arm wrestling each other?
That's what I would guess.
What do you think the writer does in that room?
Do a joke about steroids, and that's why you won.
How integral is the writing staff for that event? What could he possibly be doing?
There's so much scar tissue on this guy's butt cheeks from injecting himself every day.
Yeah. So John thinks a resume is something just full of your worst moments in life, things that embarrass you, which is why he thinks Ray is desperate to put on there, had a roast battle with Stuttering John. Do you think? Imagine anyone getting called to, hey, you might know this guy from his podcast, whatever the fuck, from roast battling a stunt boy from a radio show in the 90s. Turd from Man Cow wasn't available. So he roast battled Stuttering John.
Oh, man.
What a resume builder. Is that the guy who roast battled Stuttering John?
I think here though,
You congregate with us regular folk?
John's going to give us a little taste of his roast material here.
Oh, good.
Today, I just heard he got into another car accident.
Oh, no.
Although this time it has a very sad ending. He lived.
Oh, I didn't see that coming from 10 million miles away. You could see that coming from other galaxies.
He got in a car crash while there was a spotlight on him and a microphone in his hand.
Hey, Ray got into a car crash. Unfortunately, he lived. Waka, waka, waka.
Oh, yeah.
He is a cat scales hack. It's crazy. He's like stuck in the 1950s. When he was talking about the jerking off stuff, I thought he was stuck in the 90s. He's in like 1948
Yeah, at this point.
at the Poconos.
I mean, and he lives in someone's basement in Cleveland, no less, which is a shithole. Hello, Cleveland.
What's
Oh,
that mean?
don't know.
Why are they British? What's the Hello Cleveland? I don't get that.
No, what's the Drew Carey's thing?
Cleveland rocks.
Oh, yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm trying to think. I'm grasping at straws to help him.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's pretty rough when John says things like the honor that I would be bestowing upon you by roast battling you. But then this is what his ego is he has to prove how great of a roaster he would be. And then he says something like that. Like, hey, Ray got into a car accident. Unfortunately, he lived. It's like that's such a long way to go for a roast joke. You have to pretend that he was in a car accident?
Yeah, if Stuttering John was in a roast battle with Ray, it would unite all of these shows. Every beef that there ever was would be squashed to help Ray write the perfect jokes. So John would get crushed.
I think if Ray didn't have any help, he'd beat John. I think Ray, from the little I know of him, is a better joke writer than John. I don't think John. John talks about all the writing staffs he's been on, but I don't believe him. I'll put it that way. I just don't believe him. I'm sorry. I don't believe that he contributed to any of these writers' rooms.
And I think Vince the lawyer would make John think he wrote good jokes, and they would be terrible. So
Right.
then he'd go out with the confidence.
But they would all be that level. They'd be like, fucking, like Rickles would have thrown them away in the 70s because he'd be like, this is just too corny,
Yeah. Dang Lizard, €5. Stuttering John basically wrote WATS banter. What's the pay for that, and how can I get the honor to put that on my resume?
You know what? You have carte blanche. Put it on there. Stick it on the resume. Hey, Ray's living in someone's basement in Cleveland. If he needs space to rent, maybe you should check between his ears.
No, see, like that's kind of a joke structure there, Mike. He just said he's living in a basement in Cleveland, and Cleveland fucking sucks.
Cleveland is a shithole. Oh, now that's funny. I've never heard anyone diss Cleveland before.
No, me either. I mean, saying maybe like there's nothing to do is the worst I've heard.
No, he really takes on the big targets.
Here's some more jokes.
Oh, good. I was hoping we'd get a little taste. It's good that John says, I won't be reduced to roasting Ray DeVito. Like, I'm not going to give him the privilege. You have to understand what an honor it is for me to roast you. Anyways, here's what I would do if you were going to pay me for that.
You're a walking joke. You're a living, breathing joke.
Okay.
But I like you.
Oh.
I don't dislike you. I don't. You're welcome on the show anytime, Ray. I do like you.
Well,
That, by the way, I should say this. That is him saying, hey, Ray, why aren't you nice to me? I need friends. Why aren't you nice to me?
and for the visually impaired, he goes, I like you, and then wipes his drooly mouth with a napkin.
Well, that's a staple.
I do like you.
What an honor.
Ew.
Just bought some stock today.
Oh.
Ray, no, I don't mean chicken or beef, Ray. I mean stocks.
Ugh.
Hold on.
Ugh.
Hold on.
Ugh.
In the history of language, when anyone has ever said, I bought some stocks today, even before the stock market existed, did anyone think you meant livestock?
I immediately went, "You making soup, John?"
Why would you phrase it like that? I bought some stocks today. I don't mean chicken or beef.
No beef.
No.
Stocks.
Why would you? No one talks like that. That would actually make, if Ray leapt to that conclusion, it would actually make him like too smart for his own good. Be like, no, Ray, how did you even get there in that mind filled with so many thoughts?
Big Moose says, "Name a comedian that couldn't beat John."
Who's the kid on Kill Tony with the he uses like the voice machine?
He would kill John.
Well, you didn't let me finish, Craig. Jesus Christ.
I was like, come on.
If you destroyed his equipment,
Oh yeah.
I think John would own him.
He kicks it underneath the stage.
Yeah, if you hid everything he needed to communicate.
Aaron Belial.
Aaron Belial, yes. I'm sorry, Aaron.
That's
So yeah, okay. He didn't mean chicken or beef stocks, because that's what any idiot would assume he meant when you say I bought stocks today.
Dude, I'm supposed to roast battle Aaron Belial, and I took his phone and I put it in my Coors Light. Good luck.
Good luck.
Chicken or beef, Ray. I mean stocks.
Here's another thing, by the way.
That's the funniest thing he's ever said, apparently.
Oh, he loves it. John is a massive fan of John Melendez.
Yeah.
He would go if John Melendez was touring. John would go see him. It would be like the people that follow the Grateful Dead. John would see him in every city. John is far and away his biggest fan.
Oh yeah, not even close.
But can I say this also? I own some stock.
Whoa.
Not bragging.
Beef?
Hey, hold your applause. I'm just getting some. I'm just a guy making a point. I don't mean to brag. I own some stock.
Nice.
You don't have to be a particularly rich man. There are penny stocks. You could buy one share of an expensive stock. That's not that like. You don't have to be a man about town to afford stocks. You can download the fucking Robinhood app and buy a couple.
John probably doesn't know that, and he's buying penny stocks. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna hit it big time.
John's still calling his trader. Hello, Wall Street.
Real stock, Ray. I mean stock that you pay, like you spend a lot of money.
Is he under the would Ray in this situation? Would Ray be hunting chicken and cow?
I think he's at the grocery store. He's gonna make like a real hearty soup.
Well, in that case, you have to pay for those things.
Yeah.
John's like, no, I mean stock you have to pay for. You robbing the grocery store in this scenario?
He bought Wibbistics.
No, not beef stock, Ray.
John is cracking himself up at something Ray didn't say.
I know.
He is burning Ray DeVito while Ray is not there. Like he's making up a scenario and owning Ray. John, Ray's not in the room with you. Ray didn't say these things. He didn't think you meant beef stock.
This must be like a real dilemma for Hack Ride. He was like, I hate Ray DeVito, but
I bought stocks today, not wood.
He's stockpiling.
The fucking guy in there, let's go roast battle. Dude, I'm not punching that far down, Ray.
You just did.
Had to punch down in China.
Oh,
Oh, so he's racist too. Everyone clip that and send it out. How racist Stuttering John is.
Yes, terribly racist. I'd have to punch down to China.
It's like punching down in China.
Does John believe if we dug far enough, you just pop your head up? Oh shit!
I think he does. I think he does.
What's next?
John's kids.
Oh, interesting. John talking about his kids here.
Weird. I jerked off to them.
He ain't gonna
And that's a compliment to their mother.
He ain't gonna do it to Brandon, so he decides he's gonna come after me. But he can't come after me for me. And there's so much to come after. Stuttering, OCD.
Okay. Oh, there's a couple things there.
Hideous, terrible look.
Well, that's the issue. Is John will be self-deprecating for the things he's okay with making fun of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, hey, I'm not a sensitive guy. If you want to make fun of the fact that my beard's too long right now, go for it.
I have some gray in my hair, don't I,
Well,
guys?
that's not the first thing we want to make fun of. It seems you're brushing over some other aspects we might like to poke fun at.
Being 4'2", maybe.
So yeah, John is not very self-aware, which he accuses a lot of other people of. But go back a little bit because I forget my point now.
He ain't gonna do it to Brandon, so he decides he's gonna come after me.
Oh, that's what I meant to mention. He so the day before this, he says, "Hey, listen, I talked to my kids." So he already, he's lying. He goes, "I talked to my kids, and they said, Dad, why don't you just don't let these guys bother you? Don't let these trolls on the internet bother you." And I said, "I'm going to listen to them. Now, if you guys make jokes about my kids, I'm not going to let it bother me." Now let's hear the next day.
Come after me for me. And there's so much to come after. Stuttering, OCD. I mean, so many things.
Took me so long to get a three-way.
Hemorrhoids.
John, I heard John yesterday talking about his OCD. And he goes, listen, he goes, when I got divorced, the reason I have liens on my house, like I stopped paying my mortgage, is because of my OCD. And I thought, boy, that's intriguing. How do you mean, John? This is interesting. I'm learning something about obsessive compulsive disorder. And he explains that his entire life, his mother paid for everything for him when he was a kid. And then when he was dating girls, he had them pay for things. And then when he was married to Susanna, she would always handle paying the bills. So my OCD wouldn't allow me to start paying my own bills. So John thinks OCD is just like reveling in your own filth, basically. Like, if you're just really lazy, like the show Monk.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a detective with OCD. That's the hook of the show. And what's really interesting about it is he revels in garbage all day. He rolls around in slop because he's so lazy. That's what makes the show really interesting, is that he's a lazy guy that can't write checks because of his OCD.
He just looks so sweaty too. It's disgusting. Just everything about him. Penis Wrinkle 12, $5. I don't think they were tuned in the whole time, unfortunately.
Oh no, penis!
Penis,
what are you doing, penis?
Come on, penis! Once again, Blind Mike misunderstanding Stuttering John's genius. Stuttering John didn't mean stock as in livestock. That would be stupid. He meant chicken and beef stock you use for soup, Mike.
Oh yeah, Craig pointed that out. I'm sorry. Yes, that was very silly of me.
And then Nimrod, $2. John invested in stock jokes.
Now that's funny.
That's funny. That is funny.
You can use that, John.
We give you permission.
But what does he come after? Starts just railing on my children. I'm like, Ray.
Ew.
You can't just go after me. You got to go after my kids. Well, you said it was okay now. No, I never said it was okay.
So this is where John undoes everything he said the day before about how it's not going to bother him. This is one day later. It's insane to watch. I get my whole thing with like, let's stop talking about Stuttering John was like how repetitive it gets.
Mhm.
But at a certain point, you're like, how can he do it this often? how can he continue to just step on rakes every day?
John, please.
John, you're forcing me into this life. I don't
Stop
want
it.
it for myself.
You two are going to host a show together. It's going to happen.
We'll see.
Gonna let it get to me. But you're an adult. Okay, Ray? You should know as a comic, which I hear you're horrible, but as a comic, you should know. You don't go after kids, Ray. I'm here.
One
But
day
I'm
later.
not gonna get upset with you.
Oh, good. Thank God. John, I would hate so much if you got upset. That would really bug me. I'm glad you're doing whatever this is instead.
Troy Smith, $2. Stock photo for his backdrop. BEWM.
BEWM. Oh, boom. Boom.
Boom. It took us too long.
About people goofing my kids, so you're like, okay, now I can make fun of his kids. I've been waiting for this all along. Turbo Melendez. Turbo Melendez. Oh, I'm a little too moved over here. I mean, this is what your comedy is? Goofing on the transgender community, Ray?
Oh, fuck off.
That's what's funny.
That's a hilarious way to brand yourself. I do a one-man show where I make fun of the transgender community through the children of former Howard Stern backstage character, Stuttering John Melendez.
You gonna tell me that Leah Thomas is funny or something?
This is, and John frames it like, this is what Ray's always been waiting for. As if like when John's kids were born, Ray was like, one day, one of these days, the world will know.
I mean, you're not just goofing on my kid. You're taking on the whole transgender community.
No, he's not.
Oh,
You think
They support my children. Someone's got to.
this is a man. Someone's got to. This is a man who seems truly unbothered. I have to say, he's doing a masterful job at not being bothered by any of this.
that's cool? After the show, I talked to Stevie Lou, and he's like, was that a line? It was.
Oh,
Totally.
Stevie Lou said it. Oh, I didn't. That changes everything.
I mean, I look at it differently now.
I didn't realize you had a conversation with Stevie Lou about this, John. Now I feel differently. Now you shouldn't make fun of your kids. It's all changed now. That's the thing. Like the area that I'm focused on these days is that John is so fixated on the idea that one day I'm going to stumble upon the perfect lineup of words. You know, put the perfect combination of words in the perfect order, and that everyone is going to understand my point. And then that'll be the end of the dues payer and Lady K. He's the world's worst evil villain. Because he doesn't put any effort into stopping the the heroes of the story.
He's the worst. He really is.
Is there any more?
He's playing. It's just he's drinking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'm not gonna fucking scream about it.
Oh, good.
If that's what you want, if that's your go-to, that's your, and the only reason why anybody goes to that.
This is one day after he said, make fun of my kids all you want, knowing, maybe not knowing, but you'd think he would have to know that's what everyone's going to do for at least the next week. You know?
Okay. Well, I said I give you permission to just rag on my kids, but don't.
Yeah, it's not going to bother me, so now you guys definitely won't, right? It's like, John, you're literally asking these people to make fun of your children. How do you not get that?
I think they can read through the bullshit there, John.
Oh, guys, he said it's not going to bother him, so let's all just go home. Let's wrap this thing up.
Let's make fun of his height again.
Get a rise out of me. Ain't happening anymore.
It's not happening.
No. He's definitely not risen here. He's not getting a rise out of him.
We got more jokes.
Oh, good. He's going back to showing how devastated Ray would be if they were to tango in a roast battle. If they were to go toe to toe, let's see what these two titans would come up with.
I wish I could make the joke. Ray made the biggest blunder in show business history. He entered it. I can't even say that because he's not in show business.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
Why is he laughing so hard?
He's wiping his mouth extra in this one. This is gross.
Well, it's good because you know when you're really excited when you have a home run of a joke, you slobber a lot like a fucking Doberman pincher.
Next time I think of a nice, quippy one-liner, my mouth's going to start drooling, and I apologize.
That's what it'll be. I imagine. Like I think Shane's going to do very well on SNL, but it'll be tough for him to speak with all the foaming at the mouth he's doing.
Today, and she's a waitress at the comic strip.
Go back just a little bit. So this is Kate Meany. Are you? You and I haven't talked much about Kate Meany. Are you familiar with her?
I've just seen her on Twitter. I don't know.
Daughter of Kevin Meany, and John has done this back and forth where he's like, I'm not trying to fuck Kate Meany, but I love her. But I'm not trying to fuck her because she's younger than one of my children or something like that. Like that's how you know, because no one's ever wanted to fuck a 24-year-old if they have kids, I guess. So he says he doesn't want to fuck her. We're just friends. Then he says she's a bitch with fat arms and cellulite on her legs, and she's an unfunny pig. And then when she compliments him again, he's like, you know what? Kate's really cute, actually. I think she's really swell.
Do you remember Hack Ride, by the way, wanting to have a moderator in the chat?
I do, yeah.
It's starting to make sense for me now. Because
Well,
this person he wanted to have moderate just commented, want to catch Electrify and Hack Ride again starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Replay of this week's Catch 22 puzzle blocks with Hack Ride.
Okay. Yes. No, I appreciate that. I think in the middle of our show, what people should be thinking about is other shows to watch.
To be fair, Electrify did right after. Get all the Blind Mike links and subscriptions at blindmike.net.
Yeah, thanks, Electra. Hey, you guys want to catch up on everything Blind Mike? Go to a different channel.
Go watch a different show that's unrelated.
That's crazy.
That's very funny.
Yeah, guys, do that. But hopefully you wait till we're done,
Watch this whole thing first.
Give us a little room to breathe here, and then focus on everything else there is to watch.
Troy Smith can't wait for puzzle blocks.
I'm perfectly happy to promote. This is where I assume Hack Ride's going to be like, oh, he doesn't want to promote the show. I'm perfectly happy to. It shouldn't be my main focus. Can we all agree on that? It shouldn't be the center of this show is promoting Hack Ride.
I think it is.
Well, go do it. Go subscribe. Now, where were we, for God's sake?
I wish I could make the joke. Ray made the biggest blunder in show business history. He entered it. I can't even say that because he's not in show business.
Is that what the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar treatment you gave?
Show business.
Hey, I'd say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't a great actor, but he's not even an actor. Okay.
Oh, you said it wrong. He's not even the You gotta wipe your mouth too.
He's so excited.
Imagine that fucking apartment stench. Just those gross rags he's using to wipe his mouth. Just people
say I laugh at my own jokes. This is a new level. I've never seen anything like this.
I'll giggle if I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I think I had something.
But here's the thing: is I think people do that often when, like you said, we're all busting balls having a good time. John's in a room alone. John is cracking only himself, and there's no one there to make him laugh.
I don't think I've ever made myself laugh to the point that I was short of breath and couldn't speak.
I said I used this stock line from 1958. I did the reason Lenny Bruce tried to change comedy. That's the type of joke I did.
I went to poke Vince Deloy's eyeballs, but he put his hand up and blocked me.
I did a joke that Milton Berle wouldn't steal.
I was talking to Kate today,
His
and
new
you know
girlfriend.
she's a waitress at the comic strip, and she goes, the manager at the comic strip likes to fuck with Ray. So when he shows up to the comic strip, the manager goes up to him and goes, all right, I'll give you a seat, but there's a 2-drink minimum. I'm here to perform. I'm a comic. If you have to start yelling to the manager of a comic strip that you're a comic, you're not a comic.
It's very interesting. Are you familiar with the origin of the term dabbler, Craig?
No.
It's because Chrissy Mayer, who's she's a stand-up. She had Stuttering John on her program and said, so, like, do you dabble in comedy or how often? Like, basically asked him, like, do you do stand-up still? And John was like, honey, do I do stand-up? Do you have any idea who you're talking to? He got very offended that she said he dabbles in I dabble in comedy? That's where this all started from. Now, this was very hurtful to John. It was not funny at all. Now John's source of comedic material is that Ray had to explain to someone he's a comic. Does John ever look at himself and think, maybe this is why people goof on me? Maybe me and Ray DeVito aren't that different.
This is why I had to get rid of the Hypocrisy Police show.
John, it's very interesting that John talks about like resumes. Like Ray wants to put this on his resume because he thinks like life happens on paper. Like John thinks you could look at a resume and say, oh, he worked for Jay Leno's Tonight Show and the Howard Stern Show.
That's a great resume.
And I guess wrote for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast. So we should never make fun of him. Like there should be no jokes about this man. No, that's not how anything works, John.
Yeah.
Elon Musk gets made fun of.
If we do a roast battle, I'm gonna put you in the ground.
Like, this is the thing, is John used to do a political show goofing on the president. So you're allowed to make fun of him, but if you have the resume of John Melendez, that's untouchable for some reason.
John talks about resumes like KB talks about your money.
Yes. Yeah, these are two guys, him and Kevin Brennan, are very obsessed with other people's achievements. Like whatever, they're very fixated on what everyone else is doing. And it's probably because they're not satisfied with what they're doing themselves.
They would fuck with me like that, Ray? No. Think they would fuck with Brennan like that? No. Think they would fuck with Dixon like that? No.
Boy, what a holy trinity of comedy.
At least Kevin Brennan is capable.
Stuttering John, but who's fourth on your Mount Rushmore, Craig? After Stuttering John, Kevin Brennan, and Pat Dixon.
It has to be Tom Myers.
That's quite a holy trinity there. Those three. They walk into any club in America. They say, "Please go right up." People will flock in here if John, KB, and Pat Dixon are walking in.
Hey, Chris Rock, you getting bumped?
I don't know. I don't know if Pat Dixon still does comedy. John and Kevin Brennan literally quit because they weren't getting booked. They stopped doing comedy.
Is they're that good?
Yeah. Because they're that legendary. They've done it all already.
It's not because I wasn't getting booked. They just couldn't afford me anymore.
Well, John thinks he was canceled.
Oh, yeah.
That's the great part. He thinks him and Louis C.K. got the same treatment.
Here we have him, or this was just labeled stunning hypocrisy.
We've seen it already, but now let's find out what this is.
Ray, you give us reason to goof on you. I mean, if you're going to put a sandwich in your pocket, if you're going to do a costume change at halftime, if you're going to walk around a casino with a laundry basket, you don't think we're going to goof on you? If you're
Who's
gonna
we,
buy
John?
a beer,
You're gonna
Who's
buy
we?
me. If you're gonna buy me a beer, or you buy yourself one, and I just kind of take it when you look somewhere else.
John's whole thing is like, hey, people in the Dabbleverse shouldn't make fun of me because they don't know me. But John time and again admits he doesn't know Ray at all. He
No.
said earlier, like, I've never seen any of his comedy. I've heard he's terrible. Like, he doesn't know these things. He doesn't know Ray.
That's just
And
the
yet,
trick, you know?
he's like, hey, if you act like a moron, people should be able to make fun of you. John, what do you think this all is? It's crazy.
Joseph Collins, $5. His name isn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's Roger Murdoch, and he's the co-pilot.
That's right. Yes. He's very
It's
good in
true.
Airplane.
Airplane was great. Great movie.
But you didn't even buy it from the casino? You just brought it from home? You don't think I'm going to goof on that?
I mean, can someone put together the list of things John has done that's mockable? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, we have time, right?
Every day he's in an argument with an Uber Eats driver at his door. It's John, you've given us no choice but to make fun of you. I'm addicted to it. I keep coming back for more.
You're delivering my French fries with my Coors Lights. The temperatures are off.
So if you have the peace of mind to say this about Ray, again, just take a step back, take stock in your own life, and no, I don't mean chicken or beef.
Hackright said he's gonna get Stuttering John on Gearbox to respond.
Good. I hope so. Thank
See,
you.
that would be fucking great. Do that.
He has fucking like Gillis and Louis J. Gomez on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He and Rogan are breaking down my appearance with Lauren Compton. Like, what the fuck is this show?
That would be fantastic. I think Bert Kreischer would actually like these guys.
Get man. Take it like a man.
Or a woman that was a man.
You can't be that fucking full of yourself, Ray.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's nuts that he talks like that.
That is insane.
Yeah. Is that all we had on John today?
No, we have one.
This asshole continues?
Yeah, this is called Last One.
Oh, thank God.
Kate Meany, I think this is the real one. I love you, babe. I love you too, Kate.
Oh, God. Get ready to get sick.
Okay. Can't wait.
Remember I told you about Kate Meany?
Yep.
How he's like, he goes back and forth. He loves her, he hates her, he loves her, he hates her. Very, very schoolyard, pulling her pigtails type of stuff.
Yeah.
This is way grosser than him talking about jerking off to Keanu.
Kate Meany, I think this is the real one. I love you, babe. I love you too, Kate. I do.
Cute.
Kate and I talk. I love her laugh.
Oh.
I'm not hitting on her. But
No, you're schmoopy.
The way she breathes into the telephone is so adorable.
How's my schmoopy?
I love her laugh.
Little Kate Meany. You know what, Kate? Your father was famous for saying, "I don't care, but I do care about you very much."
Her eyes are second to none. They're gorgeous.
This is literally, we've heard this guy talk about this. Now, this is a 24-year-old that he says is too young for him. He doesn't want to fuck her. If that's true, then this is way weirder. This is much more intimate and disgusting.
I wonder if this is like a Trojan horse. That'd be nice.
Possibly.
No, I'm not hitting on her. But I love to make her laugh. She's got a great laugh. And you know what? That means a lot. Like, it's like Karen had a great laugh. Susanna.
Craig, you don't know this. The dabblers know it, but what he is rattling off, the women, names of these women that he's listing?
Ones that have had problems with him and got the authorities involved?
No. Actually, it's women that he's fucked.
Oh.
So to prove that he doesn't want to fuck Kate Meany,
he's listing them all.
Listen to this list of exes that he read. Now I don't want to fuck Kate Meany, but here is the pantheon of laughs I would put her in.
Susanna
His
had
ex-wife.
a great laugh. Jessica had a great laugh, and Kate has a great laugh. And this
that's another great Mount Rushmore.
Did you hear him? And this other girl I dated.
Hold on, play that again.
Has a great laugh. And this one girl I dated, Alyssa, had a great laugh. It was like, it was cute.
Boy, that sounds sexy.
Not personal.
You dated Krusty the Clown.
I dated someone that laughed like durf. Durf.
Gosh, John.
Yeah. Wow, she's hot.
What a girlish titter.
Look, you become
That was the end of it.
So John is like, listen, I don't want to fuck Kate, but her laugh is exactly like all these women that have one thing in common. They've received my salty load.
I'm not gay, but Seth Rogen, when he laughs, I kind of get hard.
That's what he sounded like.
I know.
The disgusting laugh. Ooh, I'm imagining her in lingerie with that laugh. How hot.
Sexy.
Stavros Halkias.
Fran Drescher, hottest woman in Hollywood.
Jesus, John. But yeah, he does this gross thing with Kate Meany where he like flirts with her the way you would. Oh, she's so cute. Her laugh is so cute. It's like, John, this is way weirder. Because what you're saying is like, I wouldn't stick my prick in her, but I would have intimate conversations with her and obsess over cute little things she does. So you'll stalk her, you just won't fuck her.
He likes Carl's laugh from Billy Madison.
Oh, I thought you meant Carl from Who Are These Podcasts?
No.
He doesn't seem to enjoy that one as much.
No, I don't think he likes when he hears that. He's usually the subject matter right.
He's on the receiving end. Yeah,
he's the subject matter right before that laugh.
Yeah, it's interesting. If Susanna and Alyssa and all these women did a show mocking John, I wonder if he would find their laughs as cute.
He's like, this is mean, but like I'm so turned on at the same time.
They do have adorable laugh. That I can't take away from.
I can't deny how cute the laugh is.
That's so interesting to me. That's how deep a guy John is when he looks at a partner, he likes to make them laugh. He doesn't think of them as a hole to be filled.
Yeah,
he doesn't look at it as a receptacle for his goo.
If I hear you laugh and I assume you wear a helmet to go to the grocery store, I'm turned on.
Yeah, well, good for John. He's had quite a week, and Atlantic City was an interesting study in mania because now they're all again like he hates Kevin Brennan again. He did,
of course.
It's crazy. It would just it take too much time, so I didn't have the Vince the Lawyer clips. But literally in the same episode, this is over the course of 2 hours. He's talking about Vince the Lawyer, what a scumbag Vince the Lawyer is, how he's done with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, an hour and change later, he has Vince on, and they're laughing like schoolgirls. And there's even there's like cringy moments where John's like, "Hey Vin, when I removed your hat, would you say that was the funniest moment in the history of the Dabbleverse?" And Vince is like, "No, not really." And John's like, "Well, it's up there though."
Teach it to him.
It's like he's just trying to bond with this guy.